do not skip this reading because you feel embarrassed or afraid, because that's what I'm feeling right now with the energy, is that people are feeling embarrassed and afraid of something they should not even be. Like, this is not something that should be overthought. This is valid because it's you. This is valid because it's your emotions. This is valid because now is the time to start seeking out some sort of spiritual awakening or spiritual help or some sort of awareness, right? Because right now, some of y'all are stuck in a toxic cycle. And whether you see that this toxic cycle is affecting you in a physical way, a mental way, maybe a little bit of fucking both. Maybe you're stuck in between a rock and a hard place, and it has conjured up a whole lot of fucking emotions and feelings that right now you're saying, I cannot afford to deal with these things. I cannot afford to deal with, the ex of the past showing up again, or I can afford to deal with the, baby mama coming in for a second try, my child's acting out, my family's acting out, my family's treating me a certain type of way. I can't afford to do these things. I can't afford to do it, right? Here's the dilemma of saying you can't afford to deal with your emotions. You're on a ticking time bomb. And I know, I realize you notice that, the short temper, if not the short temper, then the emotional, the emotional feelings that you get that almost like close up your throat, close up what people call the throat chakra. They close up your heart space. They make you feel so tight, right? So heavy, and it's just overall nasty feeling. It's feel like you're stuck in a fucking shell and you can't weasel your way out. You can't get through the crack anymore. It's like being claustrophobic and being stuck in between two walls. Like, you can't get out anymore, and you know that. You can't. This is what I'm meaning. This is why I say you need to address the shit. You need to address the emotions. You need to address the issue. Because the more that you continue to try to fight this, Knight of Wands, try to fight it. Right, you're trying to fight it with almost like it's not addressing it, so you're not necessarily fighting it. You're only delaying it, right? So because you're delaying the situation, you're essentially saying, I don't have time for myself. I don't have time for my best self. I don't have time for to be human, right? Because humans are emotional creatures. I don't have time to be human. I don't have time to do none of that human shit. And maybe you're on demon time, okay? Maybe you feel like you should be on demon time. Maybe you're kind of like, you're sitting there and you're like, well, I need to work hard. Work hard, play hard. I need to give people what I've never gotten. I need to pull out the fucking strength of the gods and fucking strike people down and strike the situation down and handle this and handle this and handle that. But where is expectation on everybody else's part? Right. I think that the people that love you want to expect you to die or push yourself this far, for them. They would want you to take a break. They would want you to relax. They would want what's best for you. And what's best for you is to be true to your goddamn self. What's best for you is to stop playing the middleman. Stop being that middle person, that person who always puts up with everyone else's bullshit and never, ever, ever has anything, bad to say or negative to say, or always has to be the positive light in people's fucking lives. Always have to pick people up, out of a dark place. Like, what about the person that's supposed to pick you up out of a fucking dark place, right? What about the person who's supposed to say that shit to you? What about the person who's supposed to help you work on your goddamn self? And that's why I'm saying, right, it's going to be very important moving forward, collective, that you strip yourself of all this worry and doubt, and you continue to focus on the internal dialogue. I'm not saying tell yourself, sell yourself a dream type shit. Sit there and be like, oh, my situation is great. Oh, it's wonderful. If I just get rid of this and get rid of this, I'm going to be in bliss mode. No. Depression don't work that way. Depression hits in waves, and sometimes those waves can last months. Sometimes those waves can last years. Sometimes those waves can be so intense they can throw you for a loop and put you into really rough predicaments and even commitments, right? You can commit to something within an impulse. You commit to, you have no control sometimes. And so you commit to something that you that you know you can't follow through on. That, or if you know it's going to be really rough and really rocky for you to follow through on, you know, in the future. You know, like, even though you're okay for the moment, you know that there's going to be very large setbacks in the future because you're not dealing with what is going on internally for you. The world and the moon. Okay. You know, you dance to the dream, like you dance to the idea of this dream. Like, okay, I can have the romance, I can have the money, I can have the kids, I can have this satisfaction with my life because I am strong, because I am independent, because I have the will of a man, will of a woman. I will go out there and I will win this shit. Yes, you will do all of those things, right? Because you know it's possible for you, because the fact that you even think about doing those things, you know it's possible for you. You know it's a possibility. Anything is a possibility, right? But what you also need to realize is the things that slow you down, the things that hold you back, are the very things that you are turning a blind eye to, turning your back to. The things that slow you down, the things that you fight against and you try to ignore, the exact things that put you right in the middle, in the center, very center of the drama, right? The drama that you call your home life, the drama that you call your family life, the drama that you call your past. It puts you right in the fucking smack dab in the center. And that's why it's time to deal with your fucking past. Now, you got a choice. You got an option. You can keep dealing with this shit. You can keep fucking rotating and trying to figure out how to balance this and balance this and balance that. Or you can carry this load, right? And dump it off somewhere where you feel safe. Because you're going to need someone or something to talk to, motherfucker. You're going to need therapy, baby. You're going to need some help. You're going to need to let somebody know that this is the way that you're feeling and that you are vulnerable. You are capable of being vulnerable. In fact, it takes the strongest of fucking people to admit that they need help or they need closure. They need to feel vulnerable. They need to cry. They need to emote. It takes the strongest of individuals to say those motherfucking words. So come on now, collective. Let's get it done. Let's get it popping. Let's get it started, right? Get it started.